beautiful morning this morning. At first I was looking at the clouds and I thought to myself, my goodness, did I forget to check the weather radar? And so I had to stop real quick, whip out the smartphone and check it out, and everything's good to go. So this morning I wanted to contemplate getting attached to vehicles, emotionally attached to vehicles. Seeing, well, let's say in the last 3 months, my bike got rear-ended and I just could not stand the thought of it getting totaled out. You know, as many miles as we've been together and adventures that I've been on this trusty, not perfect, but very good bike. Luckily it didn't get totaled out. But then as life has a interesting way of working out, my daughter got into what she called a fender bender. It was stop and go traffic on a small town main street, and somebody decided I'll just jump out into the traffic with my car, and it caused several people to panic stop, but unfortunately my daughter got the worst of it. But yeah, her 2013 Beetle that we bought her got totaled out. So now she's driving my wife's car, and my wife's driving my son's car, who's not driving yet, but we went ahead and got it early like we did with my daughter. So it would be maybe a year or so old before they started driving it. I mean, that way we get to break it in and find out what all the faults are. But so my wife and I were looking at alternatives. You know, do we replace my daughter's car? Eventually we will, yeah. So my wife, she doesn't want to get emotionally attached to another vehicle. And, you know, people personify their vehicles. Some call them she's. This bike, by the way, is Snot Rod, named after the Pixar Cars character because of the color scheme. So, Snot Rod's a he. My 95 Cadillac Fleetwood, that big old boat, that's a he. The kids named it Stuntley back when we got it. I guess we've had it, oh gosh, well, almost 9 years now. My Excursion, my wife and I named it Leaf Excursion because he's green, and he's a he. And my wife's car, the SRX, her name's Sally, that's a she. My daughter's Beetle was Eve, a she. My son's Challenger, it's White Lightning, a he. Before my wife's SRX, we had a Hyundai Elantra, my daughter named Elsie, so that was a she. And before Elsie, we had a Suzuki Sidekick that we named Susie, so that was a she. And when I was growing up, I remember being a little kid, you know, we had a big green Pontiac, or excuse me, big green Mercury sedan. That was Mr. Green. And then parents had a 65 Buick Electra that was named Mr. Blue. And then we didn't name cars for quite a while. But it's kind of cool, you know, you have a car or person or a car or motorcycle or truck or whatever, a personality, a name. Usually it takes a little while before you figure out what their personality and name are. So my wife says, yeah, I don't want to get attached to another vehicle. And she was like, well, let's just get her a little economy car or whatever to replace her Beetle. And I'm like, well, you gotta have some style, you know, you gotta have something. And I'm not saying little economy cars don't have personalities, they do, but that just doesn't fit her. You know, ever since my daughter was a toddler and the new Beetle came out, the previous generation body style looked like a little UFO. She's always been attracted to the Beetles. So yeah, I don't know. Personally, I like the Beetles. I think those cars, especially the second, well, I guess it's technically the third generation, the last body style they have, reminds me of the Beetles I used to look at when I was a kid with my friend in high school. Look at Beetle magazines. He's a big VW fanatic. And they would chop and lower the Beetles, kind of stretch them just a little bit, made them look long and low. Kind of like that look.
Prepare to turn right in half a mile.
Yeah, poor Eve. She's gone on to most likely be donor parts for other Beetles to keep them alive. But do you get attached to your vehicles? And if you do you give them names? And what are some of the cool names that you have? I just want to see what's out there, you know, what people are doing. So stay tuned. Who knows? Maybe you'll see my daughter's replacement vehicle pop up in the feed while my wife's breaking it in for her. I'll talk to you guys later. You stay safe. I'm gonna play in this traffic.